I love video games, but at the moment it's destroying my hobby. What's up YouTube? So today I'm going to be talking about motivation. I've recently found a little bit of mine, and I think it's really important for all of us to kind of know what's going to get us going and get us painting specifically. If you've been following my videos, you will have known that I have been signed up to the Northern Open tournament, and that's kind of my main motivation for getting stuff painted. It's something for me to aim towards. So what I thought I'd do is talk a little bit about how you can get some more motivation different ways, and then talk about how kind of video games at the moment are really ruining mine. So yeah, that's the plan for today. So like I said, I've been signed up for the Northern Open. This is my main way of getting motivation, getting myself into tournaments, especially ones that have prizes for being painted, or ones that won't even allow you to play if you haven't got your stuff done. Like, I think it's a great way of just hammering out miniatures. They don't have to be sort of amazing quality, but they're kind of, getting your whole force to a tabletop standard. That's my main way. My next tip is buying stuff. This is something I use when I can. I think it's a great way of getting your painting kick-started, okay? Yeah, we've all got like huge amounts of toys that need doing, and we don't really want to add any more to the lead pile. But if you just pick one more miniature, and hopefully that'll kick-start you getting the whole force done. Alternatively, I find starting a new force gets me really excited and gets me back into the hobby with planning, and that makes me want to paint more too. But even sometimes just getting yourself a new brush or trying out that new technical paint that's come out, I think all these things kind of get us back into the hobby and excited. A lot of us are collectors and we like to get stuff. A huge thing that might not always be easy for everyone, but getting games in, meeting up with your friends and actually using your stuff. Because it kind of makes sense to me that, well, why would you even bother painting it if you're not using it? Yeah, we have collectors and yeah, we have just miniature painters within this hobby. But for the most of us, why would you bother getting it to, why would you put that effort in if you're not even going to use them? So, book games in with your boys, get something going, maybe start up a league, get that continuous play in so that you want to use your miniatures and want to have them look good. Like I've just spoken about getting games in with your friends, I think it's also really important that you have a sense of community. Going online and getting some positive reinforcement from posting your pictures on forums, with your friends, on the local Facebook group, or, sort of Instagram, getting that kind of, feel-goods for actually achieving something and getting stuff painted. The other thing I think communities can really do well is you can have challenges. Split it between your friends that everyone has to get X amount painted for this month. Have a challenge with some forfeits. Make sure that you don't buy anything more before you've had everything painted, which is another way of doing it, but it's incredibly hard. I've also known other people that once they get a miniature painted, or they do something with hobby, they put some tokens in a jar, and when they get a certain amount of tokens, that means that they can get some more miniatures. Having different ways and being self-controlled is going to be really important, but so is priorities. A big one for me about getting my stuff done is having a space where I can. I'm really fortunate, as you guys know if you've watched previous videos, is that I have my own hobby room. It's not the biggest, but a little office of just space where I don't have to tidy things up when I'm done and put them away. Makes that huge difference in whether I'm just going to sit down and do a little bit here and there or slog it out for a long session. Having to put stuff away, especially when you've got like airbrushes and paints and then putting all the paper out so you don't get it on the kitchen table, it just makes it a lot easier to access your stuff. For me in particular, I like to have a clean space as well, so having a nice place where I can sit down, I haven't got boxes everywhere, I haven't got to sift through a load of stuff to be able to actually get to what I want to paint today. That makes a huge difference as well. So yeah, have a place or have a system. I know Games Workshop do those little boxes that you can just pick out and pull your stuff out and just start going. Something like that. Have your own hobby area. Okay, last one. Priorities. Tom and Kip on Minecast have spoken about this, and I'm sure other people have too. Priorities are going to be a massive thing in whether or not you're going to actually start doing some painting. You know, if other things are more important, you've got other stuff going on in life at the moment, you're probably not going to get it done. But until it's more important than those other things, it's just not going to happen. So make it a priority. Put other things in place to make painting important, but also have that kind of stuff to, you know, look after yourself. A lot of the time these days we're incredibly stressed, we have long working days, whereas painting and relaxing is going to be good for not only your hobby, but for your health too. So make sure you have that downtime and use your stuff. So those are my main tips for getting stuff painted and using your hobby. But I suppose one of the difficulties I'm having at the moment is with video games. It's so easy for me to come in and sit down and I suppose just play. It hasn't got to be difficult. I can just enjoy myself. I haven't got to set anything up. I haven't got to put any effort in, and if something goes wrong, I suppose when you're thinking about like painting, you can mess something up, whereas if it's on a video game, you can restart the level. It's very easy to overcome the problems that you've just made for yourself. And also it's relaxing.
You have been slain. You have been slain.
Oh my fucking god.
How could this happen to me? I made my mistakes, got nowhere to run.
The other thing is that with video games, I can be online, I can be talking to my friends, and I can be playing with them most nights of the week. This is a lot easier, especially if you're like me and you haven't got a local club near you. So it's definitely easier to just drop in. I suppose that makes it really difficult for me, and I know I've spoken to other people that they've even stopped playing video games and made their hobby more of a priority. It also is difficult when you're sort of spreading money between hobbies and trying to keep them all doing them at once if you're juggling like family life and work too. So video games aren't really helping me right now. So I'm going to have to make sure that I use everything that I've spoken about to make sure I get things done. So my personal plan is that I've bought my Morats, I've painted them, and I've not getting any more until they're all painted, and I've got a tournament to aim for, which means they have to have a minimum of painting standard. I've also booked in some games with my friends so that I can get stuff, using my toys, because why else would I do them otherwise? So we'll see how we go. Alright then, so I've had enough for today. My back is starting to hurt because I haven't got the best of painting chairs. So I thought I'd show you how I've been getting on.